So this is Tech Buyers Guru at the Corsair booth at CES. They've launched a number of new mice here at CES this year, starting with the M65 RGB Elite. Fans of Corsair will, of course, recognize that form factor, that design. Very aggressive with the aluminum frame and the cutouts in the shell to really show off the design. What's new here is a new placement on the side buttons. The sniper button is recessed, and you've got two large side buttons that are a lot easier to hit than the original M65. You also have an upgraded sensor. As you can see here in the specs, it goes up to 18,000 DPI versus, I think, 16,000 on the previous version. And the pricing is going to be really competitive on these. I believe it's coming in at $60, which is quite amazing for that unique design, the nice RGB effects, and of course that upgraded sensor. Also new is their Iron Claw RGB, which ironically is for palm grips, not claw grips. I asked them, well, did you think about calling it an Iron Palm? And we agreed. That sounded kind of funny. So Iron Claw is their new palm grip mouse for people who want that different kind of feel for their mouse. You can see it's got a really large curve to it. Here it is in profile. So if you are a palm gripper, you're going to want to check out that Iron Claw RGB. Now, pictured here is an old mouse. That's the Harpoon, and next to it is a very new mouse. What's missing? Of course, it's the wire. This is a wireless Harpoon RGB coming in at an amazing price point of $50. It's using the new Slipstream wireless system. It weighs just 99 grams. It has a battery life of up to 60 hours and sub 1 millisecond wireless connectivity, plus Bluetooth built in. It's really one size fits all, do it all mouse at a price point you simply cannot believe. We're going to try to get one of these in for testing, and this may be the one and only mouse we recommend in 2019 if it all pans out. It really has the specs to blow away the competition and a price that's simply unreal. Now, what are these mice all sitting on? The brand new MM350 extended extra large mat. You have them in two different form factors. So this is the extra large, I believe, and this is the extended extra large. We've been using the original MM300 extended for about 2 or 3 years, and it is awesome. Once you get a full-size mouse mat like this, you really don't want a mouse pad anymore. Having this cover your desk, put your keyboard on top so it doesn't slide around, have basically unlimited mousing space. These things are awesome. Cover your desk, protect your desk, and really get a nice mousing surface. So we really recommend these extended XL mats. And this is the new MM350, which is actually even thicker than their original. Really, really nice thick padding, really nice woven edge, anti-fray edges, or stitched anti-fray edges. And it's 5 millimeters thick. I believe the original was 4 millimeters thick. And of course it has an anti-skid textured rubber base. These things really don't move, and because they're so heavy and so large, they really stay in place. This is an awesome product. So if you're looking to upgrade your desktop experience, you've got to pick up one of Corsair's MM350s. So that's it on mice. Now we're going to turn to cases. So Corsair does have a couple new cases being released here at CES. First, we've got the Carbide 275Q. This takes the 275R and adds some sound dampening panels. So I'm going to give you a look at that. So this is actually the side panel of the 275Q. You can see it has very thick sound dampening material adhered to it. And that's going to be on both sides, I believe. Nope, I don't think the front panel has that. The front panel may just be, it's a solid panel, so that's going to keep noise at bay. So fans of the 275R will know that it's a very versatile case. One of the advantages of it is that it has space for pretty big coolers, so you can actually fit a 165 millimeter air cooler in here. Of course, here they're showing off their liquid cooling solution. The radiator is mounted in the front, and based on previous experience, we're guessing you actually can't really mount a radiator up top. Even if it's in the specs, it's just not enough clearance. You can see that's very tight clearance up there. So this is not really the ideal case for water cooling, but for professionals or content creators wanting a low-cost, very attractive case with very, very good noise-absorbing properties, this would be the one to check out. Hey, this is Annie from Corsair. Last year she was the PM for power supplies, and now she's the PM for cases, which is a really cool job. So, Annie, can you tell us a little bit about the new Spec Delta that's sitting behind you, and then maybe tell us about what's coming from Corsair in the future in terms of your higher-end case market?
Sure. So this is our brand new Spec Delta RGB case. This case is a really great value. It comes with 3 RGB fans in the front and a black fan in the back, so that means you get 4 fans with just buying this case. These RGB fans are actually motherboard control, so if you put them up to Asus, Aura, Gigabyte, any of their software, you can control the RGB lighting through that software and sync it with the other devices in your case. It has a fairly unique design in the front with some sharp angles, which is how we typically like our Spec brand to look. It has an open front, so the performance of this case is pretty good with airflow considering it is such a small case. And it has great cooling compatibility for such a small case. So you can fit a 240mm radiator in the top of the case. That's what this build has. You can also fit a 360mm radiator in the front. And then if you're interested in air cooling, it does fit a Hyper 212. So this case is $79.99. So I think with the 4 fans and the cooling compatibility, it's a pretty good price.
Great. And what do you think might be coming, in terms of strategy from Corsair in the higher end market?
So with this case, I did mention how the airflow is optimized. We're really thinking about high performance cases for that $100 to $200 range in the future. And then we're also trying to emphasize our smart cases. We came out with 5 in the last year, and I think you should be expecting that we'll be coming out with more IQ compatible cases in the future.
Okay, great. Thanks so much.
No problem.
No doubt what Corsair is most proud of here at CES 2019 is the Corsair One, and this is the top-of-the-line model, the Pro i180. It features a Intel Core i9 9920K processor and an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2080 Ti video card. It has 32 gigabytes of RAM. It's clocked at 2,666 megahertz. I did ask them about that, why they don't include their overclocked RAM. It really has to do with working with vendors and keeping with the Intel spec. So they don't want to include an overclocked RAM in here because then they have to support the additional strain on the system that overclocked memory entails. So that is a default clocked RAM, sticking with the Intel spec. Now, we're going to show this to you in exploded view, just to show all the new engineering that went into this. It's really quite amazing. What you have on this side is the video card, which has a full radiator connected to it, and a small accessory fan. Now, as they explained, this fan has a zero fan mode, but it's designed in order to cool VRMs and memory that the cooling block itself cannot cool. So they've really thought about the entire video card ecosystem. It's not just a GPU that you have to cool on a video card. So this system covers it all. And then on the other side, you have the CPU cooler. This is a modification of Corsair's retail CPU coolers. It's using a shortened radiator, so that's not a full 240 millimeters. That makes space, of course, for your hard drive, your SSD mounts below, which are in there. You still have that liquid cooling block. And of course, the whole claim to fame of this system is it uses a single fan. Here's the fan. You have a single fan on the top of the system that cools the entire machine, blows air through those radiators, and ensures that you have optimal performance even in an extremely compact, extremely quiet system. Remember, this is packed with a 9920X CPU and an RTX 2080 Ti GPU, both in the size of a mini ITX system, both liquid cooled. You really can't do this on the do-it-yourself side. There's no way to handle the heat of the processor and the GPU, and more importantly, Corsair is not going to be offering this case as a retail SKU because it's simply too hard to build in. It requires a lot of wire management, cable management, and that's what you get from the factory when you buy this from Corsair. Now, the price point on this particular model is $5,000. They also have 2 other models that are directed more at gamers. So this is the i180 is really for creators, and then on the gaming side, you have the i160 and i140. Here, the i160 has a 9900K, and again a 2080 Ti. For gamers, this is going to be the preferred solution because really that 9900K processor is the best gaming processor out there. And this one, I believe, comes in at $3,500. So that is what we've got at the Corsair booth at CES. If you like this video, please like and subscribe.